Good morning at magandang buhay sa lahat ng ating listeners online, mga kapwa guro mula sa public at private schools. Ngayon po ay araw ng Martes, 5 ng Mayo 2020. Ako po si Adrian Tamayo at welcome sa second day ng ating webinar, ang Tech Talk Talk. Bago po tayo magsimula sa ating webinar for this morning, may I invite you all po para sa isang opening prayer na pangungunahan po ni Ma'am Vilma Enciso, ang HRD ng Division of Angeles City.
Hello po, good morning. Good morning, Sir Adrian.
Morning po, ma'am.
Okay, bago po simulan natin ang ating webinar, inaanyayahan po natin ang lahat na sumali sa ating mataimtim na panalangin. Makapangyarihang Diyos, lubos ang aming pagpupuri sa iyo. Tanggapin mo po ang aming pagpapasalamat sa patuloy mong pagkakaloob ng ligtas na buhay sa amin. Salamat po sa biyayang na ibubudbud mo sa amin sa araw-araw, Ama. Kung kaya't nais din namin na magbahagi sa aming kapwa ng mga biyayang ito. Basbasan mo po ang bawat isa sa amin, ang aming mga pamilya at ang lahat ng aming mahal sa buhay. Gawin mo po kaming malakas ang pangangatawan at kaisipan. Ipinapanalangin po namin ang lahat ng mga taong tumutulong sa pagtugon sa sakit na dulot ng salot. Ang lahat ng mga frontliners, hindi lamang sa aming bansa, kundi maging sa maraming bansa, Panginoon. Igawad mo po sa kanila ang kaligtasan upang patuloy silang maging malusog at malakas ang anumang aspeto ng kanilang pagkatao. Hinihiling po namin na pagalingin mo ang mga natamaan ng sakit. Nawa, mapagtagumpayan nilang labanan ang sakit na dumapo sa kanila. Gayon din, kami pong nasa bahay sa mga oras na ito, igawad mo po sa amin ang kaligtasan at katiwasayan ng isip. Sa mga oras na ito, idinadalangin din namin na igawad mo po ang higit na kahusayan sa aming resource speaker ngayon. Pangunahan mo po siya, Ama, pati na ang mga guro na tumugon na sumali dito sa aming isinasagawang webinar. Nawa ay magamit po naming lahat ang aming pagtuturo sa mga minamahal naming mga mag-aaral, ang bawat matututunan namin dito. Ang lalong kahusayan na makukuha namin sa mga oras na ito ay aming iaalay sa iyo, Panginoon, sa pamamagitan ng higit na pagsusumikap sa aming pagtuturo sa aming mga mag-aaral sa pagdating nitong school year. Alam po namin, Ama, na ikaw ang mas higit na nakakaalam kung bakit nangyayari ang lahat ng ito. Kung kaya't ipinagkakatiwala namin sa iyo, O Diyos, dahil alam namin na mahal mo ang bawat isa sa amin. Ang lahat ng ito ay aming mapagpakumbabang idinadalangin sa pamamagitan ng iyong bugtong na anak na si Hesus Kristo, ang aming dakilang tagapagligtas. Amen.
There you go. Once again po, thank you very much po, Ma'am Vilma Enciso, ang HRD Education Program Specialist ng Division of Angeles City. Sa mga kaka-tune in lang po nating mga kasamang guro, tayo po ay pinaglilingkuran ng Division of Angeles City, kung saan ito po ang second day ng Tech Talk Talk. At tayo po ay mapalad ngayon at kapiling po natin online ang ating Curriculum and Instruction Division Chief para sa isang maikling pagbati. Welcome po natin si Dr. Lourdes de la Cruz.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning po, ma'am.
Good morning,
Magandang
Sir
buhay
Adrian.
po.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Kumusta na po kayo? I am tasked to deliver a message for in behalf of the Division of Angeles City under the leadership of our Schools Division Superintendent, Dr. Maria Irene Perez Tamayo. The Department of Education is working hard to prepare everyone, teachers, learners, the whole community, for the so-called new normal in education. Ano ang top of mind answer mo sa tanong na, What does the new normal in education look like? The way I see it, a lot of you would think of virtual classrooms, non-face-to-face modality like in school, of school, or you may even think of the rise of digital walls in schools. All of these are possibilities. Isa pang importanteng tanong, what is required of us educators in this new normal in education? At this point, allow me to share my thoughts. There are 3 points that I would like to focus on. First, the test of our resiliency. Second, proof of our relevance. And third, my last point, the seal of our commitment. About being resilient, diyan daw tayo kilala, tayong mga Pilipino. We are able to bounce back from tough situations. The pandemic has reshaped education globally. On the positive side, a lot of educational institutions have come up to innovative trajectory in a relatively short period of time. Na-redefine din ang roles ng mga educators sa ating educational system. So it's a test of resiliency. Another, proof of relevance. Naaalala ko yung lagi ko sinasabi sa aking mga estudyante sa graduate schools. This is about the predictions made by Steve Wozniak, yung co-founder ng Apple. In 2016, he predicted about machine learning, virtual classrooms. Tinatanong ko sila, when the time comes our students would choose teachers online, what is the rate of demand of the subject assigned to you? Siyempre, nagbibiro ako. It's always a question of relevance. And for my last point, the seal of our commitment. Naniniwala ako ng bawat guro sa kagawaran ng edukasyon ay bayaning totoo sapagkat bawat isa may commitment. Stay relevant, be resilient, seal everything with your commitment. Together, we can conquer the digital divide. I know that amidst this pandemic, amidst the challenges of the 21st century, we educators, especially in Angeles City, can deliver the basic education beyond the 4 walls of our classrooms. Isang karangalan ang maglingkod sa bayan. Maraming salamat po at pagpalain ang bawat isa. Sir Adrian?
Maraming salamat po, Dr. Lourdes de la Cruz po ng SDO Angeles City. At kami po ay nagagalak ding banggitin na kasama po natin online at nakikinig po ang ating Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, si Ma'am Selena Vega. Kahapon po nagbigay ng introduction si Sir Edgy Cortez tungkol sa Google Suite kung saan napag-usapan natin ang ilan sa mga Google Apps gaya ng Google Drive, Google Docs, Spreadsheet at iba pa. Sa umagang ito, meron po tayong isa pang resource speaker upang talakayin naman sa atin ang isang napakahalagang Google application. Siya po ay ang Information Technology Officer ng Schools Division Office of Mandaluyong City. Siya po ay Google Educators Group Philippines Leader, Certified Google Innovator and Trainer. Friends, kapwa guro from public and private school, let us please welcome Sir JD Mercado. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Thank you for inviting me to be with Angeles teachers this morning.
Sige po, sir. Nasa inyo na po ang pagkakataon para simulan ang ating webinar for this morning.
All right. So, again, maraming salamat po sa mga teachers na nanonood ngayon. So, I will just go ahead and share my screen to all of you. Okay. So again, my name is JD po. So I'm sure during the webinar po kahapon ay nakita ninyo po o napanood ninyo po ang proseso ng ating webinar. So this is somehow a one-way webinar kasi ako lang po yung nagsasalita. But in a different sense, it's also two-way kasi nandyan po kayo at pwede po kayong mag-comment. However, habang ako po ay nagsasalita dito, ako po ay nakafocus sa screen at hindi ko po nababasa real-time yung inyong pong mga comments. Okay? So, I'll just go ahead and present my session on Google Classroom. Okay? So, managing your class, introduction to Google Classroom. So, Angeles teachers, how do you manage classroom work in terms of giving of assignments, class discussions, and checking of assignments? How do you do this in your classroom? Today, we will talk about Google Classroom. Google Classroom is a learning management system. It's an online learning management system developed by Google in order to help teachers manage their class efficiently and effectively. Okay? So, I am sure that you have now opened your Gmail. So, ang advice ko po sa inyo, upon watching this webinar, I hope you can open open my webinar on a separate device like a tablet or a cell phone. Okay? And then, pwede nyo po akong sabayan using your laptop. Pero kung laptop lang po yung gagamitin nyo, okay lang naman. I'm gonna make sure that this session will be nice and slow. Okay? All right. So, ano po ang unang natin gagawin kapag tayo po ay papasok sa Google Classroom? Okay? As a teacher po. By the way, gusto ko pong sabihin na ito pong session ko this morning, magiging tatlong persona po ako. Okay? The first, of course, is the teacher. Alright? Managing a Google Classroom. Second, isang estudyante. Bali, dalawa. I mean, yung second and third persona ko po ay students po. Alright? So, one teacher and two students. Para mapakita ko po sa inyo yung different perspectives of a Google Classroom. Okay. So, as a teacher, for example, paano ako papasok sa Google Classroom? So, nakikita niyo ngayon sa screen yung aking gmail.com. Okay, alam naman natin kung paano tayo pupunta sa gmail.com. Let's just type sa ating browser, gmail.com, and makakarating tayo dito. And then, on the upper right corner, features, may makikita tayo ditong apps icon. Okay, or Google Apps icon. Yung apps icon na yan ay parang Rubik's Cube. Alright? Marami pong mga tawag dyan online. Rubik's Cube, 9-dot icon, but it's a Google Apps icon. So, let's just go there and click. Now, when you click that, marami po kayo makikitang mga applications na under kay Google. We have Classroom, Drive, Doc, Sheet, Slides, Calendar, and Meet. Now, let's go ahead and go to our Google Classroom by clicking the Classroom icon. Ayan. So, my Google Classroom is opening right now. Alright? And makikita ninyo, wala pa akong nagagawang class. Okay? Later gagawin natin. Okay, going back to entering a Google Classroom. Now, nakita ninyo na I entered Google Classroom via the apps icon. So that's the first way of going to Google Classroom. But there is a faster way, of course. Now, if gusto nyong pumunta sa Google Classroom in the fastest way possible, you just open a tab and then, okay, open a tab and just go to classroom.google.com. Enter. And there. Nakapasok na tayo sa Google Classroom. Okay? Basta, make sure that you have logged in your teacher account. Alright. So, okay po ba? Nabuksan nyo na po. I'm sure right now, binubuksan nyo po inyong Google Classroom. Okay. So, punta po tayo sa Google Classroom. Now, itutur ko lang po kayo. Alright? So, this is the interface of Google Classroom. And nakalagay po dyan, don't see your existing classes. Okay? Now, on the upper right corner, may makikita po kayong class icon. It is quite small. Okay? That's why naglagay si Google ng notice that in this icon, you can create or join your first class. Okay? Ayan. So I'll just click create. I will just click the plus icon and then bibigyan niya ako ng option whether to join a class or to create a class. So because I am a teacher, I will create a class. Okay, there. So nakakasunod po ba? Let me just look at the comment section very, very quickly. Okay. All right. Now, so nandito na tayo sa stage kung saan gagawin na natin yung class in Google Classroom. Okay? So anong class name natin? So for example, ang gagawin natin is grade 6 Rizal. Okay? So ang suggestion ko, whenever you are creating a Google class, you just name the class name as the section. The grade and the section para madali siyang ma-identify. Okay? And then, yung una, yung class name, it is required. Pero yung section, subject, tsaka room, optional na siya. Okay? So, uulitin lang naman natin siya eh. So, grade 6, and then subject. Let's say, mathematics. Okay. And then, let's click create. Alright. And then, nakikreate na siya. There. Okay, so welcome to your first Google class. Okay, your first class in Google Classroom. So let me just give you a tour ng Google Classroom. Okay, so the first thing that you can see whenever you enter a class is the stream page. All right, stream is like your Facebook timeline. Okay, diyan kayo magpo-post ng mga announcements sa inyong mga students. Diyan kayo pwedeng mag-post ng, diyan kayo pwedeng mag-respond sa mga posts nila, sa mga comments nila, whenever they post any concerns dun sa inyong stream. So again, stream is like your timeline. Okay? Now, mamaya, sasabihin ko kung para saan itong class code. But if you will look here sa lower right corner ng header ng inyong Google Class, may makikita kayong select theme and upload photo. Okay? Si Google Classroom allows you to customize your Google Class by adding some creativity to it. Now, if you want to change, kasi for example, ang header na nilagay ni Google Classroom sa grade 6 Rizal Mathematics is parang graduation na, no? Kasi may diploma at saka may medal. If you want to change that, I'll click select theme. And then, meron ditong mga ready-made na mga header. Let's say, yung under general, ito yung mga nakikita ninyo. English and history, math and science, art, sports, and others. Okay? Now, of course, this is a grade 6 Rizal math class. I will click math. Okay? So, I'll just click this and select class theme. Great. So, ayan, na-create na natin ang grade 6 Rizal header. Okay? Or na-customize na natin yung header ng grade 6 Rizal mathematics class. Okay. So, yan po yung way on how to customize the header. Now, again, ang stream po is parang timeline ng inyong Facebook. Just for your announcement, for your academic announcement. Okay? Now, punta tayo sa classwork. Sa classwork, this is the page where all of your activities, okay, will be put into. All right? In classwork, you can create assignments and questions. You can use the topics to organize your classwork into modules or units, or you can reorder your work the way you want your students to see it. Okay. Now, as you can see, there's a big button na ang pangalan ay create. When you click that, makikita ninyo yung you can create an assignment. You can create a quiz assignment. You can create a question. Okay, para itong poll question. For example, saan nyo gusto pumunta sa field trip? Alright, so it's more of like a quick poll question for your students. And then you can create a material if you want to upload materials into your class or if you want to reuse your post. Okay? Ibig sabihin ng reuse your post, di ba teachers, kapag sa mga klase natin, paulit-ulit lang naman siya every school year. Yung activity na ginamit mo this year, pwede mo rin siyang gamitin sa ibang school year. Okay? Or, yung ginamit mo na activity sa isang klase, pwede mo rin siyang gamitin na activity sa ibang klase. Okay? Kasi pare-pareho naman yung, let's say, grade 6 mathematics. Okay? So therefore, itong reuse post will save you a lot of time. Because if you click reuse post, hahanapin niya yung post mo in a particular class, tapos kung saan mo siya gustong i-post ulit or i-reuse yung post. Okay. Next, you can create a topic. Okay? When you create a topic, okay, topic will help you identify, for example, addition activities. Lahat ng mga activities na related to addition, magkakasama siya. And then subtraction, and then multiplication. So it helps you segregate your activities. And then, in your classwork page, may makikita kayong Google Calendar and Cast Drive folder. Okay. G Suite for Education, I'm sure, as mentioned by Sir Edgy yesterday, is a suite of applications which are connected to each other. And that's a good thing about G Suite for Education. When you create a Google Classroom or a class in Google Classroom, it automatically creates a Google Calendar for you para kapag nag-set ka ng assignment para sa mga bata, ilalagay niya sa Google Calendar mo yon para maalala mo na, okay, today is May 5, meron pala akong sinet na assignment on May 8, therefore I should check that on May 9 onwards. So, it's automatic siyang na-create. Now, I gusto kong ipakita sa inyo kung paano siya automatically na-create. I'll just go to my calendar. Okay, so I'm sure you are aware of Google Calendar. Naka-install din po yan sa inyong mga cellphone. Okay, now on the lower left corner, nakikita ninyo, okay, na hindi ko naman create dito sa Google Calendar yung calendar ng grade 6 Rizal, but it's there because automatically na-create siya. And mamaya pakikita ko na kapag nag-set ako ng assignment in a Google Classroom, makikita ko siya sa Google Calendar. Kung ano yung iset kong deadline, lalabas siya dito. Okay, next. Class Drive folder. I'm sure majority of you are using Google Drive for your files, to back up your files. What's good about Google Classroom is it will create a folder in your Google Drive. So gagawa siya ng dedicated folder there na lahat ng mga activities na ibibigay mo sa mga estudyante at lahat ng mga activities na ipapasa sa iyo ng mga estudyante, naka-segregate siya, naka-organize siya automatically in your Google Class. Okay? So, ayan. Wala pang naman because wala pa tayong mga activities sa Google Class na Rizal. Okay? But I just wanna go out very quickly. So, for example, in grade 6, ay nasa loob siya ng classroom folder. Ayan. So, before may ginawa na akong folder for grade for Diamond, grade for Topaz. Right now, may automatic na nagawa na grade 6 Rizal. Okay? Ayan. I'll just go to my drive. Okay, there. Makikita nyo, automatic may ginawang folder sa Google Classroom na ang pangalan ay Classroom. Okay. So, yun po si classwork. Mamaya, mas ma-appreciate natin si classwork kapag gumawa na tayo ng assignment. Okay. Now, before I go here sa people page, I'll just go here sa grades. Okay. Again, Google Classroom will help you to be efficient and effective. And by what I mean by being efficient is you can achieve your work in the fastest way possible. Okay? Saving time, and if you save time, you can do more work. Okay? Let's say sa lesson planning or preparing for your materials or other kind of work. Kung meron pa kayong ibang work aside from teaching, you can also focus on that because the job of teaching is easier, okay, or more efficient. Now, in this grades page, wala pa tayong nakikitang grades ng any students because wala pa naman tayong siniset na assignments na dapat gradean. But later, makikita ninyo na kapag nag-set ako ng assignment, tapos chinek ko siya, automatic lalabas siya dito sa grade. Para madali natin makita, okay, sino yung mga batang nakakuha ng score na mataas? O sino yung mga batang may problema with this particular assignment? Okay? Okay, now, punta na tayo dun sa people page. People page is where you add all the essential or the key people to your class, such as the teacher and the students. Now, bakit meron pa diyang teacher? Bakit may button to add a particular teacher? Well, Google Classroom allows you to add teachers to your class because Google believes in collaborative teaching or collaboration. So for example, tatlo kayong teacher ng mathematics sa grade 6. So instead of handling your class separately, pwede bang kayong tatlong teacher in grade 6 mathematics, mag-collaborate na lang kayo. Nandito kayong tatlo as teachers, tapos nandito din lahat ng students ninyo. Let's say 150 students nandito. Pwede ba yon? Yes, pwede. Okay? And it's a good thing because since pare-pareho naman kayo ng competencies na tinuturo sa mga estudyante nyo, might as well just collaborate and join in a single class. Pero depende yan sa diskarte nyo. Kasi kung gusto nyo na separate yung mga klase nyo, then so be it. Okay lang naman. Okay? Ayan. So, and then, wait, I'll just go back to StreamYard and I wanna focus my screen para mas focus kayo. Okay. Tanggalin ko na yung screen ko. Alright. Now, I'll go back to my, Sir Noel, if I have any technical issues, you send me a message on Messenger para ma-notify yung phone ko. Okay? Thank you. Okay, now, going back. So, for example, nag-add kayo ng teacher. Pwede na kayo mag-add ng students. Now, meron tayong dalawang way para mag-add ng students. Okay? Now, nakalagay dito, invite students or give them the class code. Okay? So, ito yung class code or ito yung enrollment code. Okay? Mamaya, papakita natin kung paano mag-add na class code. But, if you want your Google Classroom to be secured, na kung sino lang yung mga bibigyan mo, ay ipapasok mo dito sa Google Classroom, sila lang yung nandito. Ang best way na mag-add ng estudyante ay i-click nyo lang itong invite students button. So when you click that, okay, may lalabas dito, type a name or email. So since alam ko naman yung email ng aking estudyante, I will just type his email. Okay. So ayan, lumabas siya. Ibig sabihin, existing yung account or existing yung email ng bata doon sa system ng aking domain, which is jdsmercado.com. Now, sir, paano kung ang bata Gmail lang yung gagamitin niya? Or paano kung malalaman yung email na gagamitin niya? Okay, teachers. Ito, ang paggawa ng account, any account, no? Lalo na sa Philippines, let's say Facebook, Gmail, Twitter, kailangan you are above 18 years old. 'Di ba? Tama naman. Okay? I'm sure na naalala nyo nung gumawa tayo ng email nung hindi pa tayo 18 years old, pinipeke natin yung year para magmukha tayong above 18 years old. So it's something na hindi natin sana i-tolerate. Alright? At kailangan i-encourage natin yung mga bata natin na be a good digital citizen, na kung hindi ka pa pwedeng gumawa ng gmail.com, dapat hindi ka pa gumagawa. Now, what can you expect, Angeles teachers, from your division office? I was informed by Sir Noel and the entire team that DepEd Angeles City is planning to give accounts to all students of Angeles who will use G Suite for Education, particularly Google Classroom. Bakit siya may advantage? Kasi for example, meron kang estudyante si Juan de la Cruz. Okay? Pag tinype mo yung Juan de la Cruz, let's say Juan de la Cruz at gmail.com. Alright. Lumalabas siya dito, but hindi mo alam kung talagang yan ba yung email ng estudyante. Okay? Or yan ba talaga ay legitimate na student account. But if mag-add ka ng estudyante from your domain, which is, for example, depedangelescity.com. For example, Juan de la Cruz at depedangelescity.com. Alam mo na yung estudyante ay nasa loob ng DepEd Angeles City. Okay. So going back, so since alam ko na kung si Elio is a student within my domain or within my school, then I will just add him and then click invite. Now, makikita ninyo na malabo pa siya because Elio students haven't accepted my invitation to be part of the class. So ano sasabihin natin sa mga estudyante natin? Announce natin, okay class, go to your Gmail and accept my invitation to be part of the class. Now, let me go to Elio's email. So punta lang ako sa gmail.com. Okay, this is another perspective. Okay, isipin nyo na ako na si Elio, yung estudyante. So bubuksan ko yung Gmail ko. And then, may makikita ako na email from my teacher. Okay? So, hintayin ko lang mag-load. This is supposed to be, may matatanggap akong email. Oops. Alright. Elio slash, it's supposed to be underscore pala. So, I'll just go back and change the email, Elio underscore. Okay. All right, I'll go back here. So again, this is the email of Elio. And makikita ninyo na pumasok na yung class invitation for grade 6 Rizal. Okay? So I will just open this. Ayan, so nakalagay dyan. Hi Elio, JD invited you to the class grade 6 Rizal. So I will just click join. And makikita ko na napasok na ako dun sa classroom ni Sir JD, which is grade 6 Rizal, Mathematics. Okay? So ito na yung interface ng sa estudyante. Pero mamaya natin ito pupuntahan. Okay? Babalikan natin siya. So, balik tayo kay teacher. Okay. So ayan, makikita ninyo na yung account ni Elio ay malinaw na, hindi na siya grade, alright? Or hindi na siya grade out. So, ibig sabihin, pasok na si Elio doon sa ating class. Now, makikita ninyo, may button na invite guardians. Sir JD, bakit may invite guardians? Ibig sabihin, pwedeng pumasok yung mga guardian dyan sa Google Class? Yes. Okay. Google also believes the participation of parents in the students' progress. So, for example, if you are a teacher who wants to involve your parents, the parents of the students to the class, then you can invite their email there. So, dyan, siguro naman, may email na yung mga parents because they are adults, whether they are using Gmail, okay? you can go ahead and add them to Google Classroom. So for example, leoparent@gmail.com. Okay, I'll just click and then click invite. So may tanong dyan, para lang aware din kayo, add class to guardian email summaries. Guardians receive a summary of their students' work and class announcements. Okay, so kapag nag-invite kayo ng parent or guardian to the class, makikita niya yung summary ng student's work. Lahat ng summary ng kanyang anak. Okay, pati yung mga class announcements ng teachers, lalabas siya dyan. So, click ko lang yung add class if decided na ako to add the parent of Elio. There. Okay? Ayan. So, makikita ninyo, meron ako ditong elio.2@jdsmercado.com. I'll just click remove para makancel na yung invitation. Alright. There. Okay? So, that's the first way to add students to your Google Classroom. Now, ano yung pangalawa at ano yung pinakamadali? Okay? So, yung pangalawa at pinakamadaling way para mag-add ng students sa inyong mga class is to just give them the class code or the enrollment code. Now, nakita ninyo, wala na dito o hindi ko na nakikita yung class code. Okay? So, saan ko siya makikita? I'll go to stream. And sa upper right corner, makikita ninyo yung class code. Okay? So, CH252WV. Okay? Pero masyado siyang maliit, for example. Okay? So, kung gusto niyo siyang lakihan, just click display at lalabas na siya ng ganyan kalaki. Alright. So, i-copy ko lang yan. Example, copy ko lang. Punta tayo ulit sa isang estudyante. For example, punta tayo kay Oliver. Alright? So, ito yung account ng pangalawang estudyante natin, si Oliver. So, for example, sa upper right corner ng classroom ni Oliver, so for example, punta ako ng apps icon, punta ako ng Google Classroom, tapos ito na yung makikita ko. Makikita ninyo, instead na merong button for create class, wala siya. Of course, ang creation ng class is for teachers only. Pero kung yung bata ay for students, okay, yung account ng bata ay for student, ang makikita lang niya ay join class. So, click yung join class, and then, ayan, nakalagay dyan, ask your teacher for the class code, then enter it here. I will paste the code, and I will click join. Ayan, so habang nag-load pa siya, please make sure na maingat kayo sa pagbibigay ng class code. Kasi pag nabigay niyo yung class code with a student na hindi dapat nandoon sa account na yon o sa class na yon, o kaya binigay mo, pinost mo sa timeline mo sa Facebook na, okay class, grade 6 result, please join this class. Tapos pinost mo yung class code, and merong teacher o kung sino man na alien, no? Alien meaning hindi dapat siya taga doon sa class na yon, they can join the class easily. So, ingat kayo. Don't post the class code publicly. So, kung meron kayong private group chat ng inyong mga estudyante, you just give the class code there instead of publicly posting it. Okay? Ayan. So, basically, yun yung interface na meron tayo kay Google Class. Alright? So now, kamusta po kayo? I'll just go to StreamYard very quickly. Ayan. So, sir, okay lang ba na sagutin ko yung question? Kasi I think I should answer the questions as early as now para hindi siya maipon mamaya. So, okay. So, mag-flash lang ako ng mga questions. Ayan. Ang mga pupils po ba, may invite yung guardian niya? Hindi po. So, ang kaya lang pong mag-add ng mga guardian sa Google Class ay yung mga parents. I mean yung mga teachers. Okay? So it's a safe way, it's a safety measure na only the teacher can invite a parent account. Or teacher lang po. So yun, nasagot na po natin. Okay? So may question pa. Okay. I guess we can do this after final enrollment to create Gmail for learners, and this will take time for at least senior high school and high school. Teachers should also control password to prevent abuse of their Google Drive since it has no limit. Sir, okay, so ang DepEd Angeles City po ang may kakayahan na mag-set ng rules on how the accounts of the students will be created, but in our division, in the division of Mandaluyong City, the process stems out from the teacher. So kapag alam niya na yung pangalan ng mga estudyante niya, they just have to submit a spreadsheet file na nandun yung first name and last name. Tapos yung ICT core na ang magke-create ng student account sa mga estudyante. Okay? Ayan. Hindi na po ba makakapag-remove ng alien student na sumali sa class mo po? Okay, so pwede pa pong mag-remove. Okay, mamaya i-demo ko po siya. Okay. Ayan. Sir, pag ginamit po ba ng class code to enter the class, may i-approve pa po ba ng mga teacher para ma-add ng bata? Sir Alan, hindi na po. Pag binigay niyo po yung class code sa inyong mga estudyante, they can just enter the class very easy. However, if may pumasok na hindi dapat pumasok na sa class, madali lang naman po siyang i-remove. And for example, you have 40 students, tapos binigay mo yung class code, tapos ang pumasok 42, pwede mong i-remove yung dalawa kung merong dalawang hindi dapat nandun sa class. Tapos, alam mong 40 na yung nandoon, 41 kasama ka, pwede mong palitan na yung class code, okay? Para yung una mong binigay na class code, mag-expire na siya. Okay? So, ituturo natin yan. Sige, balik na tayo sa session. Sir Noel, maraming salamat for facilitating the appearance of the questions. I'll go back to answer some questions. Ayan. So, paano tayo mag-remove ng class? Okay. I mean, ng estudyante. So, i-refresh ko lang to dahil lang nandito ay si Elio at si Elio lang. Now, si Oliver, nandito na din. So, for example, meron ditong estudyante na hindi dapat. Example, si Oliver. Okay. Dapat sa sa grade 5, sa grade 5 mathematics siya. Kasi, for example, nagtuturo ako ng grade 4, 5, 6 na math. Pero nagkamali siya ng class code na in-enter. In-enter niya yung pang grade 6, pero grade 5 siya. So, I can just click this ... icon. I'll just click yung check. Okay? I'll just click yung check beside Oliver, and then click yung action, and then click yung remove. Okay? So, in that way, ma-remove mo na yung estudyante. Okay? Now, next question. So, for example, binigay mo yung class code mo dun sa estudyante, tapos, lahat na ng mga estudyante mo nakapasok na. Alright? Nakapasok na. So, dapat hindi na available tong class code na to. Ang gawin nyo lang is, go to the settings. Sa upper right corner, merong gear icon para siyang settings. O hindi siya parang settings talaga siya. And then, scroll down nyo lang. And then, makikita ninyo yung class code. Alright? Yung class code, under general, you just click this. And then, you just click disable if ayaw mo nang may makapasok doon sa inyong class. Okay? Ayan. So, pag disable mo siya, wala nang ibang estudyante na makakapasok doon. Okay? So, sino na lang yung nandun yun na yun. Tapos, kung meron kang, let's say, transferee na pumasok in the middle of the school year, instead of just giving the class code, invite mo na lang siya or add mo na lang siya as a new student. So, type mo na lang yung email niya dun sa invite student na button. Okay? Ayan. Now, enable natin siya ulit. So, ayan. Perfect example. Teachers, nakikita ninyo na yung class code na binigay ni Google Classroom ay may letter L. Okay? LTGK2DN. Now, it's also a good thing na kapag ganyan yung binigay na class code, may choice kayo na palitan. Why? May mga letters and numbers tayong nakakalito. Let's say yung small letter L mukha sang number 1. Okay? So pag binigay natin o sinulat natin sa board, tatanong ng bata, "Ma'am, is that L or number 1?" Same with O and 0. Okay? So if kayo as a teacher, you don't want the class code to be like that, pwede niyong palitan, click nyo lang yung reset, and then magbibigay siya ng bagong code. Ayan. So meron na naman siyang L. Reset nyo lang ulit. Ayan. 3CAM5GC. So ayan. Mas safe na siyang i-type ng mga estudyante. So pwede nyo yan palitan the way you want it. Okay? Next tayo. Alright. So balik tayo sa stream. Again, your stream is like your timeline. It's your announcement page where you put announcements for your class. So the first thing na, for example, na ipopost ninyo is, for example, welcome grade 6 result to my math class. Okay? Pwede kayo mag-add ng file from Google Drive or a link or a file or a YouTube video. For example, you are a creative teacher. Okay? Tapos, may ginawa kang YouTube video introducing yourself, you can add it there. And then, meron tayo sa lower right corner, may post. If you want to post the announcements right away, or you can click the drop down button if you want to schedule the post. Okay, so Sir JD, ano yung schedule the post? For example, as early as now, you are preparing, for example, 2 weeks from the opening of the classes, alam mo na yung mga section na hawak mo. So, create mo na yung mga classes mo. And then, alam mo na yung opening of classes will be June 1. Okay? So, you can go ahead and click schedule. Okay? Tapos, ipopost ko lang siya. Okay, today is May 6. I will post it on June 1, 8 a.m. and then schedule. So, si Google Classroom helps you to prepare for future announcements. So, same din siya with assignments. In later on, makikita ninyo na, for example, alam mo na naman yung mga assignments na i-set mo by the first week of June, second week of June, third week of June, then you can go ahead and post like that, schedule a post like that. Okay. So, ayan. Right now, i-click ko siya, tapos, gawin ko na lang na i-post ko na siya right away. Or I will just click the cancel post, cancel the scheduled announcement, and just post it. Welcome grade 6 result to my math class, and then post. Ayan. So, tignan natin. So, na-post na siya dyan. Alright, tignan natin yung screen ng bata. So, lipat lang ako, punta ako kay Elio. Okay? And then, makita nyo, stream was updated. Click show. Ayan. So, makikita ninyo, nag-reflect na yung post ng aking teacher. Okay? And, hindi lang siya dyan lalabas. Kung ang email ng bata ay nakaset or nakapasok doon sa kanyang announcement. Yung email ng bata ay naka-login sa kanyang Gmail account sa cellphone niya, manonotify siya na may announcement ang teacher niya doon sa Google Class. So, for example, ito, may email kay Elio. Oh, ayan. Hi, Elio. JD Trainer posted a new announcement. Tapos, welcome grade 6. Ayan. So, click ko lang open. Pupunta na ako dito. So, as a student, pwede ako mag-comment dito na, Hi, sir. Thank you, and I am excited to be here. Enter. Or I'll just click this. There. So, ayan na yung class, ayan na yung comment ni teacher. Okay? Next, punta tayo kay Oliver. So si Oliver, siya yung pangalawa nating estudyante. So, paano kung may pasaway na estudyante? For example, si Oliver yung maingay na estudyante, maingay virtually. So, nag-comment siya ng kung ano-ano. Ayan, nag-comment siya ng iba't ibang letters and then pinost niya. Of course, we don't want that kind of behavior from our students. So, ang pwede natin gawin, okay, punta ako kay teacher account, titingnan ko yung mga comments ng aking mga estudyante. Nakita ko, nag-comment si Elio, pwede ko siyang replyan na Elio student, I'm glad, zoom ko lang, I'm glad that you are excited. Alright, and then, for example, si Oliver student, nakita ko ganyan yung comment niya. So, pwede kong gawin, either replyan ko siya, or, okay, so replyan ko siya, please avoid this kind of comment. Or, for example, inulit ni Oliver yung comment niya na gano'n in the future. Ang pwede ko nang gawin kay Oliver ay i-mute siya. Okay? So, mute Oliver student. So, pag minute ko siya, nakalagay dyan, muted students, they can still submit work. Other students won't see it. They cannot reply to classmates' work, and they cannot comment or post. Okay. So, also delete this comment. Ayan. So, nakamute na at hindi na natin makikita yung comment ng students natin na si Oliver. Okay. So, JD, paano kung okay, nag-behave na or nag-promise na si Oliver na hindi na siya magko-comment ng kung ano-anong bagay o magpo-post ng kung ano-anong bagay sa Google Classroom. So, punta lang ako sa people, nakikita ninyo na si Oliver ay merong red na mute icon. I'll just click this, the checkbox, and lagay ko lang dito, unmute. Okay? Or pinutin ko ang unmute. And then meron ditong warning that unmuted students will be able to submit work, reply to classmate, and comment and post. So since nag-promise na si Oliver, I'll just click unmute. There. So, ganun po. Ganun po yung the way you manage the communication within Google Classroom. Okay? Ayan. So, thank you po sa inyong mga comments. May comment si Sir Edgy. Sir, itanong ko po ito para sa mga teachers na walang domain at Gmail lang gamit. Pwede ba sila gumawa ng classroom gamit ang regular Gmail? At mga bata using also their regular Gmail accounts, are there limitations in using the app dahil wala sa domain? Sir Edgy, wala namang limitation. Teachers can create Google Classroom in their gmail.com. And then students, pwede rin naman silang mag-create ng gmail.com accounts as long as they are above 18 years old. But then again, we have to be reminded that if students will create their account in Gmail, they must be they must know that it's not an account for students. I mean, for people below 18 years old. So, ingat lang sila sa pag-create ng account. So, I'm sure DepEd Angeles City will give you instructions on how you will create accounts for your students. Okay. Now, balik tayo. So, tanggalin ko lang yung question ni Sir Edgy. Nasaan na ba yun? Ayan. Okay. So, thank you po. Thank you, Sir Noel, for helping. Balik lang po ako sa Google Classroom. Okay. Dito na tayo sa pinaka exciting way ng paggamit ng Google Classroom, which is classwork. Alright. So, punta tayo sa classwork. And then, again, ang classwork ay ginagamit ginagamit by clicking the create button. And then, meron ditong options to create an assignment, quiz assignment, a question, material, or reuse post. Okay. So, for example, since this is a first, ito yung umpisa ng klase. Okay? So, pwede nyo gawin is to click an assignment. Okay? I'll just click this. Okay, teachers. I'm gonna make sure that this part will be slow enough dahil hindi nyo dapat makalimutan yung mga steps na meron sa paggawa ng assignment, because it's all the steps that you need to do in creating an assignment, okay, will help you para sa better assessment. Okay? I will emphasize more of that later on. Okay. Now, so for example, ang lagay ko dito is assignment number 1, introduce yourself. Okay. So teachers, assignment number 1 natin is introduce yourself. But of course, that's for the purpose of demonstration. Okay. This will be graded assignment. Okay. Example lang naman. Okay. So instruction. So maglalagay tayo dyan ng instruction. So for example, in 3 sentences, please introduce yourself. Example. Pwede nyo pang dagdagan. Okay? Next, either you can add a particular assignment from your Google Drive or from a link or from a file or from YouTube. Okay? So for example, meron kayong assignment to science. Okay, hindi to math, pero for example, you will create a assignment from a science class, or let's say another panlipunan class, MAPE class, and then may gusto kayong ipanood sa kanila sa YouTube muna bago nyo i-assign, you can go ahead and click YouTube para alam nila that doon nila makikita yung sagot. Okay. Click create. Okay. So, again, Google G Suite for Education is a collection of applications under Google, and all applications in Google are connected to each other. Okay, so I suggest teachers that if you plan to use Google Classroom, you also acquaint yourself, or you also try to know the process of using other applications such as Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Sheets, Google Drawings, or Google Forms. Okay. Now, punta tayo, for example, since this is an introduction to yourself activity, gagamit tayo ng Google Docs. So, click natin yung Google Docs. Okay. And then may mag-open na another tab. Okay. So, this is the document na in-open automatically ni Google Classroom for you dahil gusto niya na mag-create ka ng assignment, o dahil click mo yung button na create, may create kang Google Doc assignment. So for example, ito na nga yung activity natin o assignment number 1 natin. So punta lang ako sa upper left corner. Click ko yung untitled document. Pangalanan ko siya na assignment number 1, introduce yourself. Template. So this is the template. Parang imagine niyo na lang na nag-create kayo ng handout sa inyong mga estudyante. Okay, of course, in order for you to distribute the handouts to your students, kailangan mo siyang gawin in a Word document. So, ganun lang din dito. Ginawa mo lang digital. So, for example, syempre, ayaw naman natin magbigay ng assignment na hindi alam ng mga estudyante kung saan sila magsisimula. Of course, guided learning dapat. Okay? So, for example, number 1, tell us about yourself. What have you done last summer vacation? And what is your favorite pastime activity? Ayan. Alright. So, for example, yun yung mga questions. Ayan. So, by the way, sisingit ko lang. Okay, i-zoom ko lang. Nakikita niyo sa may taas banda, all changes saved in Drive. Okay? So, kapag nagta-type ako, ang nakalabas sa kanya is saving. Pero pag tumigil ako mag-type, ang nakalabas na sa kanya ay all changes saved in Drive. Parang around 2 seconds, nababago na siya from saving to all changes saved. Ibig sabihin, Google Docs, okay, is an auto-save or has an auto-save feature. Alright. So, since nagawa na natin yung template, pwede ko na siyang i-close. Okay. And then, hindi pa nag-reflect yung pangalan ng Google document natin dito. Nakalagay pa sa kanya untitled document. But we can check, we can click that again and check if nag-reflect na siya. So, ayan naman. Na-save naman natin. Now, ito yung pinaka-importanting dapat ninyong malaman in assigning assignment or giving assignment in Google Classroom. I-zoom ko lang. So, again, ito yung assignment natin. Yung create natin Google Docs. I-zoom ko lang siya dito. Ayan. I-click ko yung drop-down button. Ito yung tatlong way para magbigay ng assignment sa Google Classroom. Okay? Basahin ko lang. Students can view file. Students can edit file or make a copy for each student. Now, gusto ko siyang i-relate sa classroom scenario. Yung students can view file, para kang nag-print ng assignment sa isang bond paper, tapos dinikit mo siya sa blackboard. Kasi tinitingnan lang nila yung iisang document. Okay? Ito naman, student can edit file. Yan naman yung nag-print ka ng template o ng handout sa isang bond paper. Okay? Tapos, nilapag mo sa gitna ng classroom, tapos lahat ng estudyante doon mag-edit o doon magsasagot. So, isang papel lang. Sa Google Classroom, ang pinakamaganda sa kanya is you can make a copy for each student in a digital way. Para kang nag-print ng handout, okay? Kung 40 students ang meron ka sa klase, nag-print ka ng 40 tapos pinamigay mo sa kanila isa-isa at dun sila magsasagot. In Google Classroom, the best way to give assignments is make a copy for each student. Okay? Ayan. So, na-make a copy na natin para sa mga estudyante natin. Now, pumunta tayo sa kanan. Alright? Okay. Now, nakikita ninyo dito sa 4, okay, yung 4 na category, naka-gray yung inyong mga section, which is grade 6 Rizal. Pero for example, meron kang grade 6 Juan Luna or grade 6 Bonifacio. Okay? Pwede mong i-click yung drop-down button na yan para makita mo na pwede kang mag-assign ng same assignment to all of your classroom or to all of your classes. Kunyari, yung assignment number 1 mo, assignment siya para sa lahat ng class. So, hindi mo na kailangan mag-post isa-isa sa bawat class. pwede mong i-check na lang dyan lahat ng class na pwede mong lagyan ng ganong assignment. Next, meron dito all students. Okay? Dahil pwede mo dito gawin yung tinatawag nilang differentiated instruction. For example, in the middle of the class, meron kang mga estudyante na mabilis makagawa ng assignment or meron kang estudyante na mabagal gumawa ng assignment. So, yung mga estudyante mo na mabilis makagawa ng assignment, pwede kang mag-set ng additional activity tapos i-uncheck mo lang tong all students. For example, si Elio, mabilis siya gumawa ng assignment, mabilis siyang makaintindi. Okay, fast learner siya. Then, differentiated instruction allows you to add additional activity for that particular student only. Okay? So, pwede po yung ganyan. Next, anong points? Ilang points yung ibibigay natin dun sa score? Okay? Mamaya, saka na natin babalikan yung points. Okay? Meron kasi akong gustong i-demo sa inyo na pinakamagandang feature ng assessment sa Google Classroom. Next, due date. Kailan yung due date natin? So, for example, ang due date nitong assignment na to ay May 8. Anong oras? 11:59. Okay? Anong topic? So, since wala pa naman tayong formal topic dun sa assignment natin, we just go ahead and create the topic tapos lagay lang natin preliminaries. So, preliminaries pa lang. Okay? Pero in the future, kung gusto mo, nalagay na yung itag yung assignment mo, let's say addition, subtraction topic, division, multiplication, pwede nyo siya lang ilagay. Eto na. Hindi ko pa nilagyan yung points dito sa taas, pero in Google Classroom, para mabilis yung pag-check nyo ng assignment, pwede kang mag-set ng rubric. Isn't that amazing? Para alam mo kung paano mo i-gradean yung mga estudyante. So, i-click natin yung rubric, and then let's create a rubric. Since bago pa lang naman. So, i-zoom out ko lang. So, for example, since this is an essay kind of assignment, okay, so for example, ayan, i-click natin yung criterion title. So, for example, ang lagay natin dyan is content. You want to grade the content of your students. Ilang score siya? Let's say 20 points. Okay? Nakikita natin dito sa taas, nagre-reflect yung total points. Okay? And then, let's add a criterion sa lower left corner. Add a criterion. Let's say, use of words. Okay? So, ang points niya, additional 20 points. So, 40 na yun nandito sa taas. Okay? So, for example, yan muna yung ating rubric. Pero you can go ahead and add additional criterion. Okay? So, click natin yung save. Alright? And then, ilan ba yung nilagay nating total points o ilan yung nagawa nating total points since 40 points? Pwede na natin baguhin yung points sa taas. Gawin natin 40. Okay? Okay. Lastly, for example, since this is an essay kind of assignment, pwede tayong mag-originality check. Okay? This is one very good feature of Google Classroom. For example, may pinapagawa kang essay sa mga estudyante at gusto mong i-check if yung ginawa nilang essay ay original sa kanila. Okay? You can go ahead and check this. Para tong Turnitin. Okay? I'm sure alam niyo yung Turnitin. Now, ang originality report ay may limitation sa Google Classroom. You can only assign originality report for 3 assignments. Okay? Per class. Hanggang 3 assignments lang. So dito may nakalagay 3 assignments remaining. So click ko lang yung continue. Alright. So naka-check na siya. So for me, okay na tong assignment na to. Kompleto na yung lahat ng nagawa natin. Okay? Balikan lang natin. Naglagay ako ng title, naglagay ako ng instruction, nag-create ako ng handout, tapos yung handout na yon, ginawa ko na make a copy for each student. Sinet ko kung para kanino yung assignment. Yung points, ginawa kong 40 kasi upon my creation of rubric below, 40 points yung total. Nag-set ako ng due date at nag-set ako ng topic. And then, chinek ko yung originality report. So, ganun lang siya, teacher. So, pag nagawa ko ng assignment, just go through, pababa, and then dito sa kanan, pababa ulit. Ganun lang siya. And then, if you are satisfied with your assignment, you can go ahead and click assign. Pero gaya nga ng sinabi ko kanina sa pagpo-post ng announcements, you can schedule an announcement. So for example, gusto mong schedule itong assignment na to bukas pa, so pwede naman. But if I want to assign it today, I'll just click assign. Ayan, processing na siya. Ayan, assignment created. So, under the preliminary topic, okay, nandiyan na yung assignment number 1. Now, punta tayo kay Oliver. Sige, kay Oliver muna. So, nakikita ko the JD trainer posted a new announcement, assignment number 1. So, ako, i-click ko lang siya, makikita ko na. Punta tayo kay Elio. Ayan, nag-reflect na. So, ayan. Ayan. At matatanggap din siya sa email. Ayan. Para na-notify si student na may pumasok na assignment o may kailangan siyang gawing assignment sa Google Classroom. Okay? Sige. So, I hope I was able to demonstrate it very slowly. Okay? Para makasunod po kayo. Okay, so I will just answer some questions. Good morning po, Sir JD. Is there a way po para ma-export it, ma-download yung scores ng mga student namin sa Google Classroom sa spreadsheet para mas madali ang pag-input ng mga scores sa e-class record? Yes, meron pong export feature si Google Classroom para i-export nyo na lang yung grades na ibibigay nyo tapos spreadsheet yung ilalabas niya. Hi sir, ask lang po kung merong video conference feature ang Google Classroom. Sir Mark, yes po, meron pong connected po ang Google Classroom sa Google Meet. Papakita ko po sa inyo mamaya yung Google Meet inside Google Classroom, pero ang topic na Google Meet ay i-discuss po sa inyo ni Sir Noel tomorrow. So I will skip the process of creating a Meet conference with students, but ipapakita ko lang kung paano i-activate yung Google Meet in Google Classroom. Pero I will not talk about Google Meet in particular kasi topic siya ni Sir Noel tomorrow. Kay Ma'am Bel, gagawan po ba ng DepEd email ng mga students na nasa primary level? Actually, pwede naman po na makreate ng mga bata ng DepEd email, pero central office doesn't allow. Ayan, nalobat na yung aking earphone. Dali lang po.
Ayan. Okay ba? May audio ba, sir? Thumbs up? Okay, good. Ayan. So, again, pwede naman actually gawa ng DepEd email ang mga bata, pero the central office doesn't allow the creation of students' account in deped.gov.ph. What's good about Angeles teachers ay meron kayong depedangelescity.com. So, I'm sure merong plano ang DepEd Angeles to give accounts to your students. So, pwede nyo silang bigyan. I mean, pwede silang magkaroon ng student account. Hi po, Sir JD. Pwede po bang magkaroon ng direct access ang mga supervisors, especially EPSS, para may direct supervision sila sa learning area na hawak nila? Like sa mga activities and assignments na binibigay po ng mga teachers nila sa mga learners. Yes. Nakita niyo po kanina when I demonstrated how to add a teacher in your Google Classroom pwede kayong mag-add ng teacher, pero yung teacher na yon ay hindi lang pang teacher, pang other DepEd official din siya. So, pwede nyo i-add yung PSDS or EPS dun sa inyong Google Classroom para they can see how you manage the class. Pa-up lang po, baka namali lang ako. Dinig ko 18 above lang pwede gumawa Gmail account. Yes, Sir Ryan, di ba? Kapag nag-create ka ng Gmail account, sa year, yung iyong birth year, kailangan makompute niya na above 18 siya. Kasi kapag below 18, hindi niya kinecreate. Pare sa Facebook, ganun din naman eh. Okay? So, dapat alam nyo na as a good digital citizen, you should not allow below 18 years old creating a Gmail account. So, I might as well give them a G Suite for Education account, such as DepEdAngelesCity.com. Dapat pa rin po ba may Gmail account kung saan sila magla-login? Kamukha po ng DepEd email account po natin. Tama po ba ako? Basahin ko ulit. Dapat pa rin po may Gmail account kung saan. Yes, ma'am. Ang DepEdAngelesCity.com, DepEd.gov.ph na email, lahat po ng mga accounts na binibigay po sa atin ay under Google. Since, at pag binuksan nyo po itong mga email na to, let's say DepEdAngelesCity.com, DepEd.gov.ph, sa gmail.com po sila binubuksan. Yan po. How about po, if assigned task activity requires computation, do we need to print our students' answer po? For example, yung inyong assignment ay nag-require ng computation, ang pwede nyo pong gawin, for example, ganun din, gaya ng present ko kanina, kung ang computation, pwede naman nilang ilagay sa Google Classroom, Google Docs, then go ahead and do the same way, okay? Pero kung gusto nyo, parang quiz, meron kayong mga ilalagay na mga equations sa Google Forms, para siyang quiz, tapos kukumpitin nila at in their own area, sa bahay nila, tapos pipiliin na lang nila yung tamang sagot, pwede naman po yun. So Google Forms po ang gagamitin natin doon. Pero for example, ang gusto nyo ay magbibigay kayo ng assignment, tapos kukumpitin nila at gusto nyo makita yung computation na ginawa nila, isulat nila sa papel, pwede din naman yon. Okay? Ang ilagay nyo sa assignment ay students can view file para makikita nila yung assignment lang. Okay? And then kung ilalagay nyo sa instruction na okay, in a clean bond paper, write the computation, so write the computation and then upload yung picture yung bond paper, tapos upload the picture, pwede po rin din yung gawin ng mga estudyante. So, depende po, the way you want to manage your assignment. So, need po talaga school magkaroon ng sariling domain. Ma'am Len, if you are a private institution, educational institution, it's a good practice na meron kayong sariling domain. Okay? At if gusto nyo, interested kayo na magkaroon ng sariling domain, you can communicate with QSR, our Google partner, okay, para matulungan po nila kayong mabigyan ng domain. Pero for DepEd Angeles City's public schools, meron na po kayong domain. Ayan, so pinapakita po natin. Siguro, sir, we can flash the email of QSR. Ang email nila ay education@qsr.com.ph. Ayan. For private institution, pwede nyo po silang email para mabigyan po nila kayo ng assistance on having G Suite for Education in your school. Pero again, for DepEd Angeles City Schools, pwede po kayong, meron na po kayong accounts under DepEdAngelesCity.com. So, yun na lang po siguro ang account na pwedeng ibigay sa inyo. Super useful, pero hopefully accessible to all learners, parents, and educators din. Problem po is poor connection. Again, ang DepEd po ay hindi, kumbaga, as much as we want to involve ourselves, sa DepEd, no, as much as DepEd wants to involve themselves in the improvement of internet connection, pero kasi nasa telco siya, at ang mga telecommunication companies ay under ng National Telecommunications Commission at saka I think NTC. So talagang sa kanila yung improvement ng telcos eh. Sir JD, kakayanin po ng grade 2, sir, grade 2 or younger pupils ang pag-join sa Google Classroom. I don't know if kaya ng grade 2 or younger pupils ang Google Classroom. I suggest grade 4 above. Okay? Kasi talagang yung mga bata na yan ay kailangan ng guidance. So if you can create a strong community among the parents of these grade 2 pupils, baka pwedeng sila na yung mag-create ng account and then home learning na lang yung mga bata. Ayan. Not all students are responsible enough to do their assignments. How do we grade those students who do not comply? Ma'am Adelma, I think this is not a Google Classroom issue, but an issue that is also happening inside the real classroom scenario. So Ma'am Adelma, we have undergone our classroom management lessons, and in classroom management, we do positive reinforcement. So we must think of ways how we can reinforce the assignments that we are assigning to our classroom. Okay? So again, that is not a Google Classroom issue. It's an issue on how you manage the class. Ma'am Jemima, easy to create class and I created two. How about if the class is no longer needed? How can I delete it? Okay, mamaya babalikan natin. It's part of my activity how to delete a class. May paraan po ba ng automatic na i-check ng Google Classroom mga assignment ng mga pupils? Kung meron, paano po ito? Inside Google Classroom, wala pong automatic checking ng assignment. Pero if lalabas ka at magsiset ka ng assignment using Google Forms, meron pong automatic checking si Google Forms. Watching po, thank you. I hate you, Sir Noel. Okay. One thing, baka si Mami Daddy gumawa ng classworks. Ma'am Akam o Ma'am Akam, ganun din naman yung issue kapag nag-set ka ng assignment na physical assignment. For example, inuwi ng bata yung assignment niya. Hindi mo rin naman alam kung siya yung gumawa ng assignment na yon. Kung classmate niya or magulang niya. Pareho lang siya. Pwedeng magamit ang Google Classroom for remediation classes. Yes, Sir Rani. Pwede. Okay? Lalo na for mga students na may difficulty in learning lessons inside the classroom. So for reinforcement siya. Pwede po bang makapag-join ng students na Yahoo email ang gamit nila? Sir Jeffrey, I don't think pwede ang Yahoo in Google Classroom. So since libre naman ang G Suite accounts such as DepEDAngelesCity.com, mag-request na lang tayo sa division office. And kapag above 18 na yung bata, let's say senior high school na above 18, pwede na silang gumawa ng gmail.com. Ang galing, sir. Ay marami pong salamat, ma'am, sir, sa inyo pong comments. Okay. So, thank you for your questions. Marami pa tayong question na pwedeng sagutin mamaya. Okay. Sir JD, so last na. Sir JD, kindly invite and encourage school heads or the division to create Google Classroom for easy dissemination of information para po hindi lang sa FB ang pagbibigay. Sir Edgy, pwede din yan. For example, among your school, pwede kayong mag-create ng isang Google Classroom for your teachers para yung mga announcements nandun na. Pero you can also do that for Google Sites. Google Sites is a web page creation application na pwede nyo doon ilagay yung mga announcement at mga resources na meron sa classroom. Okay? Sir, pwede po paulit yung paano mag-add ng email account ng parents kanina. Sige po, Ma'am Michelle. Okay? So teachers, babalik po na tayo sa Google Classroom ngayon dahil meron pa po tayo at I think mga dalawang activity na gusto kong i-share sa inyo. So share ko lang yung aking screen. Okay. So, balik lang tayo sa Google Classroom. So, balikan ko lang yung question ni ma'am. Paano mag-add ng parents' email sa Google Classroom? So, from your people page inside your Google Classroom, just click people and then click invite guardians. And then, ilagay nyo lang yung email ng guardian. So, for example, since si Oliver yung estudyante natin, oliverparent@gmail.com. Again, gawa-gawa ko lang po itong account na to. Ayan, so ganyan lang naman po mag-add ng parents' email. Okay. Ayan. Sige po. So for example, doon na tayo, no? So tapos na tayo mag-set ng assignment. So I hope kanina habang sinasagot ko yung questions, um, uh, nakagawa kayo ng assignment in your own device or nakaihi kayo, ganyan. So, or nakainom kayo ng tubig. Okay? Now, balik tayo sa Google Classroom. So, nakaset na tayo ng assignment. So, anong ini-expect na natin after natin mag-create ng assignment? Siyempre, ini-expect natin na magsasagot na yung mga estudyante natin. So, punta tayo, for example, kay Elio. So, ito na yung assignment. So, balik tayo sa stream. So, stream. Tapos nakita ko, JD Trainer posted a new assignment. Assignment number 1, introduce yourself. So, ako si Elio. Bubuksan ko yung assignment. Tapos, okay. So, nakita ko, Zoom ko lang. Ayan. So, assignment number 1, babasahin ko. Makikita ko, okay, assignment number 1, 40 points pala siya. So, syempre, since first assignment to, magpapabibo dapat yung estudyante. So, in 3 sentences, please introduce yourself. Tapos, nakita ko, okay, content is 20 points, use of words 20 points. So, ngayon, alam ko na kung paano ako gagradean. Now, dito sa upper right corner, makikita ko, your work is assigned, na-assign sa akin. And then, Elio student, click ko yung assignment. Okay. And then, mabubuksan yung template. O mabubuksan yung handout. Okay? So, nakalagay dyan, Elio student, sa upper left corner, Elio student, and then, assignment number 1, introduce yourself. So, imagine niyo, okay, kanina, ito lang ang title nung aking template as a teacher. Pero ngayon, nung nasa estudyante na siya, automatically, Google Classroom assigned, no? Assigned, put my name in the title of the assignment. Okay? Ayan. So tell us about yourself. For example, I am Elio and I live in a small barangay here in Angeles City. What have you done last summer vacation? I played with friends and cousins. Okay. What is your favorite pastime activity? So what is your favorite pastime activities? Let's say read books, surf the web, and watch Netflix videos. O, diba? Social si Elio. Okay. So, for example, tapos na yung assignment. Anong gagawin? No? Diba? Sa klase, pag tapos na magsulat, you submit the work. Okay? Sa Amerika, ang term nila sa pagsasubmit ay turn in. Okay? So, sa upper right corner, may button na turn in. Okay? So, for example, okay, hindi ko muna pipindutin yung turn in. Kasi for example, ako si Elio. Tapos mahirap yung assignment ko. Okay? So teachers, again, for example, si Elio, mahirap yung assignment, hindi niya na muna ipapasa yung assignment. Hindi niya muna ito-turn in. So anong pwedeng gawin ng estudyante? I-close niya lang yung assignment, tapos wala muna siyang gagawin. Okay? Hindi niya ito-turn in. Pero for example, ready na siya i-turn in yung assignment, tapos na yung assignment, punta lang siya ulit ng Google Classroom, tapos buksan niya lang ulit yung assignment number 1 niya. Tapos dito sa upper right corner, buksan niya lang ulit yung assignment niya o yung work niya. Tapos dagdagan niya yung gawa niya. For example, what have you done last summer vacation? I played with friends and cousins and I helped my family with home chores. Okay? So ayan, dinagdagan na natin. I'll just click turn in na. Ayan. So, na-turn in na natin yung assignment. So, may ano pala siya, may confirmation if you want to turn in the work. So, turn in. Ayan. So, makikita na natin dito, turned in na siya. Okay? Turned in na siya. Now, tingnan natin dito sa teacher kung, ayan. So, punta ako ulit sa teacher, from stream, punta ako ng classwork, pindutin ko yung assignment ko. Wow, makikita ko na dito na, okay, one na yung turn in, one pa yung assign. Ibig sabihin, isa na yung nagpasa, isa si Oliver, na-assign pa lang sa kanya yung assignment, tapos hindi pa siya tapos. Okay. So, as a teacher, makikita mo na, okay, anong problema, bakit hindi pa kayo nakakapagpasa, or sino yung mga nakapagpasa na, sino pa yung mga hindi. Okay? So, if gusto nyo malaman kung sino yung mga nakapagpasa na at sino pa yung mga hindi, i-click nyo lang yung view assignment, o kaya click nyo lang yung one, yung turn in, tapos mapupunta na siya dito. Sa left, makikita ninyo sino yung mga nagpasa na, let's say si Elio, and sino yung mga hindi pa nagpasa. Okay? Ayan. Now, balik lang tayo ng saglit kay Elio. So, ito si Elio. So, for example, hindi pa naman nag-grade ng teacher yung kanyang assignment. Okay? So, pwede pa niyang i-edit pa? Or pwede ba niyang unsubmit? Pwede. So, click niya lang yung unsubmit. Tapos, pag tinik niya yan, babalik siya ulit dun sa kanina niyang itsura na turn in. Okay? Ayan. Alright. So, for example, punta lang din tayo kay Oliver. Punta tayo kay Oliver Teachers. So, ito na yung yung assignment ni Oliver. So, buksan ko yung Oliver student. So, for example, dito si Oliver, sinagutan niya lang yung first item. I am Oliver. Ayan. So, yan lang ang ginawa niya. Okay? Tapos, tinurn in niya na. Alright? And then, click turn in. Ayan. Now, balik tayo kay teacher. Refresh natin. There. Makikita natin na dalawa na yung turn in, zero na yung assign. Ibig sabihin, both Elio and Oliver submitted their work. Okay. Punta na tayo sa next stage ng assignment, yung pag-check. Okay? Tingnan natin kung gaano ka-efficient o gaano ka-bilis or kadali mag-check ng assignment sa Google Classroom. So, for example, buksan ko yung gawa ni Elio. Okay, teacher na ako ngayon. Buksan ko yung gawa ni Elio. Okay, ayan. So, makikita ko dito yung gawa ni Elio. So, Elio, nakatira siya sa isang small barangay sa Angeles City, blah, blah, blah. Sa kanan, makikita ko yung grade. Pwede kong naman gawin na ilagay ko na lang yung grade na 40. Pero hindi ako objective kasi nilagay ko lang 40. So, ano pwede kong gawin? Di ba nag-set tayo ng rubric? So, dito sa content, so for example, I'm satisfied with the content of Elio's answer. Lagay ko 20. Yung use of words niya, let's say 18 lang. So, automatic dito, okay, enter ko, malalagay na dito yung score niya na 38 out of 40. Okay? Now, pwede ako maglagay ng private comment sa kanan. Lagay ko dyan, good job, Elio. Nice to know you. Post. Okay, and then, i-click ko lang yung return. Okay, so sa teacher, i-return niya na yung sinagutang assignment ni Elio. Okay? So, return, return. There. So, balik lang ako dito sa screen ni Elio. So, i-refresh ko siya. At makikita ko na nag-graded na ni teacher yung aking assignment. Okay? Ayan. Graded na. Okay? So, makikita ko yung score ko is 38 out of 40. Okay? So, ayan. So, pwede bang mag-resubmit? For example, hindi ako satisfied with 38 out of 40. Yes. Click nyo lang yung resubmit. Tapos, pwede nyo ulit i-turn in after nyo edit yung inyong work. Okay? Ayan. So, dito, babalik na naman siya. I mean, si teacher, mag-grade na naman siya ulit ng gawa ni Elio. Kasi nag-resubmit siya. Okay? Pero, not all the time na pwede mag-resubmit ang bata. Siyempre, nasa inyo yon as teacher na, okay, nilagay mo sa private comment na, Elio, resubmit your work because your grade is not satisfactory. So, gawin natin siya kay Oliver. So, punta ako kay Oliver. Ayan. So, punta ako dun sa teacher and then click ko lang to, teachers. 'Di ba nakikita nyo dito sa screen yung Elio student work. Pero pag click ko tong next, mapupunta naman sa gawa ni Oliver. So, ganun lang kabilis mag-shift from one work of a student to another. So, nakita ko dito ay hindi sinagutan ni Elio yung ibang question. So, ang pwede kong gawin, hindi ko muna siya gagradean. Lagay ko sa private comments. I will not grade this. Please resubmit your work. Post. Okay. Then, click lang yung return. And then return. And then, babalik ako dito kay Oliver. Ayan. I-refresh ko lang. Nakalagay dito, assigned ulit. Okay? And then, ang nakalagay dito, ang private comment ng teacher is, I will not grade this, please resubmit your work. So, anong gagawin ko as Oliver student? So, buksan ko lang yung assignment niya ulit. So, what have you done last summer vacation? Play with ayan, lagi ko lang play. And then, what is your favorite pastime? Read. Pagkapo lang naman yan. And then, I'll just click turn in ulit. Turn in. Balik ako kay teacher. Tingnan ko ulit yung gawa ni Oliver. Ayan, Oliver, turn in. So, makikita ko, dinagdagan na ni Oliver yung kanyang gawa. Pero hindi pa rin satisfactory kasi naglagay lang siya ng mga ganyang words. So, ang content niya, let's say 10 out of, ang content niya is 10 out of 20. Ang use of words niya is 5 out of 20. Okay? And then, return ko na. 15 out of 40 lang si Oliver. There. So, tapos na ako mag-check ng assignment. So, ayan. So, mag-refresh na siya. At nakikita ko sa dashboard ko, okay, na isa yung turned in, nag-resubmit yata si Elio, tapos isa yung graded. Nadagdagan na tayo dito ng graded. Okay? So, wala na tayong hindi pa na-check. Okay? So, ganun lang yung way for you to check assignments ng mga bata sa Google Classroom. Okay. Sige, mamaya natin sasagutin yung mga question, but I'll just go back here sa classwork. Di ba sabi ko kanina sa classwork, meron tayong integration with Google Calendar and Class Drive folder. Now, I want to show you na kapag pumunta ka sa classroom, inside your Google Drive folder, classroom, grade 6 result, grade 6, assignment nag-create dito ng assignment number 1, introduce yourself, at lahat ng mga assignment ng mga estudyante ay nandito. Okay? So kung gusto niyo balikan yung mga assignment ng mga estudyante niyo, you can just go ahead and open their assignment. Ayan. Okay? Next, sa Google Calendar, again, may integration ang Google Calendar with Google Classroom. So makikita nyo dito, sa yung assignment number 1 ko, sinet ko ang deadline niya na May 8, 11:59. So ayan, nakalagay siya dyan. Para sa Google Calendar ko, at kapag naka-login siya sa aking cellphone, titingnan ko lang, madali kong makita kung anong mga assignment na yung may deadline. Okay? So ganun lang siya, ganun kaganda si Google Classroom kasi integrated siya with all applications na ginagamit niyo, no, in your class or even in your personal life. Okay? So I would like to accommodate some questions. Thanks, Sir JD. I think need din makapacitate yung mga teachers on how to use Google Class. Yes po, I hope you can share this to your fellow teachers. Sir, what if multiple choice po yung quiz and assignment? How would we be able to apply it po? Do automatic checking? Yan po yung next kong ide-demo. Is it possible that the teacher will send their presentation to their heads before they will deliver it to their students? Possible naman po yun, Ma'am Tay. If you created, let's say, a Google Slides presentation, you can share it to your head and then the collaboration is live and online. So pwede kayong mag-collaborate together and then bago mo ibigay sa mga estudyante yung resource material, na-check na siya ng iyong head teacher or ng head. Pwede ba mag-set ng time limit sa mga different level of difficulties for the drills to check their skill, lalo na kapag math? Ma'am Loida, pwede naman kayo mag-set ng time limit just like what I did kanina. Nag-set ako ng, in-schedule ko yung deadline ng assignment. Ayan. Aside sa pag-send ng YouTube link, para mag-guide sila for a particular activity, pwede po bang gumawa na lang ako ng demo video at yung send ko sa Gmail class namin? Pwede po, Ma'am Michelle. Pwede either you attach a file, a video file, or maganda, you start a YouTube channel, let's say, specifically for yourself, and then upload your video, okay? And then, yun yung i-upload mo doon sa Google Classroom. Sir, pwede po ba yung Gmail account na lang ng parents nilang gamitin ng mga pupils? Is that ways to supervise pa ng parents ang panggamit ng bata sa account? Yes po, Ma'am Faye, pwede naman po yung mga bata. Okay, but for high school students, especially senior high school, they should be able to create account and manage their accounts by themselves. We are also not teaching them yung klase natin, yung lessons natin in the class, but also yung online management. Kasi paglaki nila, gagawa din sila ng account sa SSS nila or sa GSIS nila or any other government accounts. Or, di ba, for example, pag nanghingi ka ng appointment for your passport, ikaw ang gagawa nun eh. At pati NBI, ikaw din. So, habang bata, pag hindi nila alam paano mag-navigate sa online platform, how can they do that in their own personal life in the future? Okay? Sige po. So, we will try to answer some of your questions later, pero sagutin ko lang yung question kanina on how to add assignment automatically na may automatic checking. So, for example, since this is a grade 6 math class, for example, let's say I will come up with a math assignment. So, na may automatic checking. So, punta lang ako ng create and then quiz assignment. And then, for example, assignment, oops, sorry, na-escape ko. Click lang yung edit assignment. Assignment number 2. Let's say addition. Pasensya na po sa mga ginagawa kong assignment example. Mga example lang naman po ito. And then, since I selected the quiz assignment rather than the just assignment, automatically, si Google Classroom quiz, nagdagdag siya ng Google Form quiz. Okay? So, i-click ko lang itong ginawa ni Google Forms. Okay? And then, edit ko lang. So, blank quiz. So, for example, by the way, this is a different platform na this is already Google Forms. Pero for the purpose of showing you how it's easy to create an automatic, how easy to create an assignment with automatic checking feature in Google Classroom. Dinidemo ko sa inyo yung Google Forms. Pero very quickly ko lang itong i-demo sa inyo. Gusto ko lang ipakita na it is possible to do this. So, math assignment, let's say 1 plus 1 equals 1, 2, 3. Tapos, i-require ko siya. Ang answer key ay 2. Ilang points siya? 10. Click ko yung done. I-duplicate ko siya. Let's say 2 times 2. Let's say 4, 5, 6. Okay, answer key niya is, click yung answer key. Ang sagot niya ay 4, 10 points ulit. Okay? And then answer key, duplicate ko ulit para madali. 3 times 3, 7, 7, 8, 9. Answer key ulit niya ay 9. Uncheck ko yung 7, click ko yung done. 10 points siya ulit. Okay? And then click ko lang yung send. Oops, hindi na pala kailangan. Balik na lang. Pag nag-save na siya, okay? Pag nag-save na siya, balik na ako dito. I-check ko yung grade importing para whatever grade na makuha niya sa math assignment nila, mai-import dito sa Google Classroom. Okay? So, ang classroom nito, since 30 points yun nandun, lagay ko yung 30. Due date ko ay 8 pa din, time 11:59. Ang topic niya, since hindi na siya preliminaries, I will create topic. Let's say, Introduction to Basic Operations. Pasensya na po sa mga example na sinaset ko. Okay? Hindi ko na kailangan mag-set ng rubric kasi very straightforward yung assignment ko. Click ko yung assign. And then assign. Okay? Again, mabilis ko lang po siyang demonstrate kasi hindi naman po ito actually, yung Google Forms po ay a different topic. Actually, yung Google Forms is a powerful application. Sana magkaroon kayo ng another session on Google Forms para mas matutukan nyo. Pero ang pinapakita ko po sa inyo is how to create a quiz assignment in Google Classroom with automatic checking. Now, punta ko ngayon kay Elio. Nakita ko merong assignment number 2, addition. So, punta ako dun sa math assignment. Again, ako na si Elio. Lagay ko 1 plus 1, 2, 2 times 2, 4, 3 times 3, 9, and then submit. Nakita ko, view score. Yan, nakita ko, 30 points agad. Okay? Automatic checking siya. And then, punta tayo ayan, so, since sinabit ko yung form, automatic na submit na siya. Hindi ko na kailangan mag-turn in. Okay, punta tayo kay Oliver. Lalabas ako, punta ako ng stream, punta ako ng assignment number 2, click ko yung math assignment. Okay? So, si Oliver, 1 plus 1, 1, 2 times 2, 5, 3 times 3, 9. So, isa lang ang tama sa kanya. And then, view score. Ang points ni Oliver ay 10 points out of 30. Automatic checking. Punta ako kay teacher. Okay? So, punta ako kay Intro to Basic Operations. Punta ako sa assignment number 2. Ayan, nakita ko dito, turned in, dalawa na yung nakasagot. Si Elio tapos na, si Oliver tapos na, pero wala pa yung score nila dito. So, ang gawin ko lang sa upper right corner, import grades. Import. There. Pumasok na yung grade ni Elio na 30 out of 30, yung Oliver 10 out of 30. 'Di ba? Ganun lang kabilis mag-assign ng assignment sa Google Classroom and then mag-check ng assignment. Actually, hindi na kayo nag-check ng assignment. Automatic na chinek ni Google Forms yung assignment ninyo. Okay? There. So, balik ako ulit sa StreamYard. Okay? Sir, kung online teaching na po tayo, does it follow online viewing na rin po ng quarterly grades? This is something that I cannot answer because probably central office and division office can set the policy on that. Possible po ba na even teachers have access kung sabay-sabay mga deadlines sa mga pinapa-assignment nila? Baka kasi nagkakasabay-sabay ang mga due dates. Kaya Ma'am Vanessa, it's a good thing na mag-usap-usap kayong mga teachers. Let's say, for this particular subject, ito lang muna yung pwedeng magpa-assignment para hindi sabay-sabay. Okay? Yan po ay labas na ng Google Classroom. So, mag-usap po kayo among your grade level. Ask ko lang po if pwede ma-view ang mga scores for each student na parang naka-e-class record. Yes, Ma'am Sarah, yan yung next ko. So, punta na ako ngayon sa Google Classroom. So, basically, napakita ko na sa inyo yung purpose ng stream. Makikita nyo nga dito, pati yung upcoming, kung ano yung mga upcoming na mga assignment, activities as a teacher. Napakita ko na rin sa inyo paano sa classwork. Okay? And then, napakita ko na sa inyo yung people. Dito na tayo sa grades. Ito na lang yung hindi ko pa napapakita sa inyo. So, punta tayo sa grades. Ayan, teachers. Makikita ninyo yung summary of grades ng mga estudyante. So, horizontal and vertical po yan. Doon po muna tayo sa vertical. Okay? Makikita ninyo, nandito sa first column, yung mga estudyante. Okay? Pati yung mga grades nila per assignment. Sa horizontal naman, makikita ninyo yung mga assignment na in-assign nyo. So, una, yung assignment number 1, and then, out of 40 siya, 40 items. Assignment number 2, 30 items. So, makikita nyo dito, ang class average, okay, for assignment number 1 is 26.5. So, as a teacher, makikita mo na agad, okay, yung assignment number 1 ko na related to, for example lang naman, related to addition, okay, above average lang yung mga, yung average ng score. Ibig sabihin, baka hindi ko na ituro ng tama yung lesson ko. So, pwede ko siya ulitin. Okay? Kasi for example, ang score niyan ay ang average ng class is 30 above o 35 above. Ibig sabihin, maraming nakaintindi ng lesson ko. So, pwede na kayo mag-move on sa next lesson. Okay? Ayan. So, Sir JD, paano ko i-export itong mga ano na to para madali ko na siyang i-copy-paste sa class record ko? Paano ko siya i-export? So, punta lang ako ng assignment number 1. And then, sa upper right corner, may makikita kayong icon, na settings icon, okay, or gear icon. I-click ko lang siya. I can, zoom ko lang, copy all grades to Google Sheet, download all grades as CSV, so mabubuksan siya sa Excel, okay? Or download disk grades. Pag sinabi natin disk grades, ang mada-download lang is yung sa assignment number 1, kasi yun lang yung pinindot mo. Pero kung gusto mong ma-download na lahat ng grades ng assignment, okay, from assignment 1 to assignment 10, click nyo lang yung copy all grades to Google Sheets, and then makakopy na siya automatically in a Google Sheets document. Tandaan nyo, ang advantage ng paggamit ng Google Apps, wala ka nang binubuksang ibang application, Google Chrome browser na lang. Ayan. So, ayan, makikita ninyo, Okay, si Elio, 95% na siya. Okay? Si Oliver, 37.5% na siya. Okay? Ayan. So, madali nyo lang i-copy yung mga scores nila. Okay? Kasi naka-Google Sheets na siya. It's a spreadsheet application. Okay? So, ganun lang po kadali gumamit ng Google Classroom. Alright. So, balik tayo. So, basically, yun po ang mga dapat ninyong malaman sa Google Classroom web version. By the way, I don't know how I can show my screen to you. I mean, share my mobile phone, no? Pero, ito, sorry, I don't know kung paano ko siya ipapakita na hindi nag-reflect. Okay? So, ayan, makikita ninyo na yung grade 6 Rizal na class ko, nandyan siya in my mobile phone. So, pwede ko nung i-check dyan yung kanilang mga assignment. Okay? Ayan. Okay? Nandyan yung mga assignment nila. Okay. Nandyan din yung classwork. Okay? So, napakadaling mag-manage ng Google Classroom inside, I mean, in your mobile phone. So, pwedeng habang nag-travel kayo sa bus or anywhere, pwede kayo mag-check ng assignment sa inyong mobile phone. It saves time. Okay? Sige, I have remaining 3 minutes sa aking 10 to 12 session. So, maybe let's accommodate some questions, Sir Adrian.
Yes po, si Sir Noel ay i-flash niyo po yung mga questions natin. Meanwhile po, habang piniprepare po, gusto ko lang pong i-remind ng ating mga participants na mag-fill out ng form po para sa ating evaluation for today. Ayan po, may tanong po si Ma'am Karen M. Coronel. Sir JD, pwede po bang mag-submit ng videos ang mga student as their performance activities?
Yes, ma'am. Kayo po ang magsiset noon sa instruction. Lagay nyo doon, let's say, submission of video recording. For example, ang activity is how to cook egg. Alright? How to properly cook an egg. So, video ng mga bata yung kanilang pagluluto. For example, for TVL activity, paano gumawa ng silya or bangkito. Yan, habang pag binidyoan nila yung sarili nila, is send nila doon as an attachment sa kanilang assignment sa Google Classroom. Tapos, ang maganda doon, dahil ang G Suite for Education ay may unlimited storage, wala kayong iisipin na, ay, malaki yung file na i-upload ko. Kaya ba yan ni Google Classroom? Kayang-kaya po yan.
Yun. Next naman po mula kay Ma'am Raquel Castro. Same thing po ba? May access din po ba students to view their grades?
Yes po. Okay, so pakita ko lang very quickly, sir, yung sa Google Classroom. Okay, punta tayo sa screen ni Elio. Sa kanyang Google Classroom. Very quick lang sa kanyang class. Okay. And then, grade 6 Rizal, classwork. Okay. So, makikita ko yung grade ko for assignment number 1. Graded na siya. Buksan ko lang. 38 out of 40. Tapos, sa assignment number 2, 30 points. Okay? Pero wala siya yung summary na kagaya ng sa teacher's view.
Pero at least mamomonitor po ng students yung sarili ng performance, no? At
exactly. Pati yung parent.
Yes, tama po. Okay. Mula naman po kay Ma'am Carmi. Natanggal po siya, Sir Noel. Ma'am Carmi, hi sir, ask ko lang po. Wall pong nakalitaw na import scores po sa screen ko.
Wala. Maybe wala. Ang nakalagay po doon, ang Mag-a-appear lang po yung import scores kapag gumamit po kayo ng quiz assignment na feature ng Google Classroom. So, for quiz assignment lang po siya, for Google Forms. Okay? Para po magkaroon ng import scores.
Okay po. Last na lang po ito. Ask ko lang po if makikita din po ba ng ibang bata yung mga grades ng mga classmates nila. If makikita po, paano po ma-hide para hindi po ma-compare sa isa't isa?
Subukan natin para po makita ninyo very quickly lang po. Alright, so for example, punta ako kay Elio. Punta ako sa classwork, and then punta ako dito sa Elio student. May nakikita po ba tayo na assignment ng ibang estudyante? For example, ni Oliver. Okay? Wala po. Dahil Google understand the importance of privacy ng mga estudyante. So, hindi po nila pwedeng makita yung mga assignment ng iba nilang kaklase. So, wala po kayong dapat problemahin about privacy.
Yun, safe na safe po sila sa mga kaklase nila. Yun, siguro po, that would be all for today. Thank you very much, Sir JD Castro po. Siya po ay mula sa SDO Mandaluyong City. Meron po tayong activity na naka-flash sa screen. Ano na lang po siya, paki-accomplish. At wag po natin kalimutang mag-evaluate. Isa-send po yung link mamaya po. Or kung pwede pong i-flash, makikita po natin dyan. Ang program po na ito o webinar na ito ay ipinaglingkod po sa inyo ng Division of Angeles City. Smiles Bright, Serves Right. Thank you very much po sa lahat ng ating mga listeners na kaguruan mula po sa public schools. Gayon din po ang mga listeners po natin sa YouTube na taga-private schools po. Nandyan din po nakaantabay ang ating pong SDS, si Dr. Maria Irene P. Tamayo, ang ating pong ASDS, Maria Salina L. Vega, ang ating pong dalawang chief ng ESGO, Dr. Lynn P. Lansangan, ang ating pong chief sa CID, si Dr. Lourdes de la Cruz, at ang mga school heads po, gayon din po ang mga education program supervisors. Sige po, hanggang sa muli. Sige po.